Alright, we are back. I mean, I'm only partially set up, but we're back. Okay. We'll see how this goes. I haven't quite live streamed with this kind of setup before. How to do this? Definitely not set up. Okay. I got this needle minder for my daughter. I fully expect her to only use it as a magnet, not like a needle minder actually, but it says I sprinkle that stuff on everything. Sarcasm. But it's still with my stuff, so. Okay. Where am I stitching on? Not this page. All right. Okay. I got this. I just need to settle in with this project. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. 17977. Yeah. This one. Okay. So Hi Cheryl. While I was taking care of, you know, all the things, I told Steven about the Stitching Village, and I hadn't said very much yet when he said, like, he found himself a place in the Stitching Village. Isn't that cute, guys? He can be our mechanic. So your car maintenance, he'll take care of. It's fantastic. It was cute. He even sent it with an emoji. And he's not a natural emoji person. He only started that because of me. So, and then he like sent me a like a 32-acre area that's for sale. And then as we were talking about this idea further, he was like, 32 acres might not be enough. And then he was like, and if we're gonna develop this entire thing, the conservationists might like have problems. I was like, well, I like the idea of revitalizing an area too. And he was like, oh, like buying a ghost town. And so then he sent me um, a list of like towns that are for sale. It's like best response ever. So, I'm a fan. I am such a fan of this man. He was like, we're talking about like $1 million now. And I'm like, yes. I mean, $1 million just to acquire the property. I'm like, that's why we need like investors. Or he was like, better tell everyone to start playing the lottery. I love it. One, two, one, one, one. And the thing is like, I think he would do it too. Like, it's fun to dream, but I do think that if I was like, let's really try to do this, that he would 100% like figure that out with me. What were you reading, Becca, in your break? We are back, Aaron. Where's my? Here it is. Ooh, Dracula. I've only read it once, but at least I've read it. I read Dracula one October, and then the next year I read Frankenstein in October. And my plan had been to read Jekyll and Hyde the following year, but that was like a breakdown year. Um, very challenging. So I have read Jekyll and Hyde since then, but it was not in October. Thank you, Sierra. I don't have concrete plans to finish it at any particular time, but I believe it is possible to finish this year, by the end of this year, with it getting basically as much time as I'm giving it currently. I think I'm just gonna give it some extra time today, though. I'm not sure that I want to swap again today. We'll see. I'm actually starting to look forward to the back stitching of this piece a lot. It's a lot of back stitching. I'm starting to get excited about it. I want to do all 4 of the seasons. We talked about this last night, so if you hear last night, you know. Oh, let me adjust this camera slightly. That's better. Um, but there's 4 seasons of these, and yeah. Becca, you said you were going to do the back stitch in November. It's not November yet, so you are not procrastinating. You just have it scheduled for the future. Man, there's going to be so much back stitching, but it'll be fun. I don't think I'll be back stitching until maybe December. Like, I'm hoping to get the underskirt done in November. Probably the bodice. Yeah, so back stitching I don't think I will be able to get until December. So I suppose if you procrastinate hard enough, we could do it together. Hello, Woo Woo. Welcome back. Sue. That's, Yes, Sue is the other. Yes. Wow, Sierra. 17th project this year, and you plan on 4 more? Next year will be full coverage. I don't think I could take that much time off of full coverage. But I also don't think I could take that much time off of like non full coverage either. I like the variety. I try very hard to connect people's names. Mirren, hello. I've got to go and look at Full Coverage Fanatics Challenge. I didn't do any of their challenges this year and kind of tested out. Well, I tried out Whip Go, and I don't know if it's going to be a good fit, but I do want to see what they're going to do. They always have so many different options. But with my full coverage plans, I don't see myself working on a big variety of full coverage projects. Plus, if I'm gonna go buy a town, I need to make more money. They only have year challenges up? That seems. I guess in my mind they post them in September, but maybe that's not the case. Go big or go home. This project is a bit more clumpy, I guess, to work with on these scroll rods, but I don't have a stand that works with them. Go big or go home. 17977. Two-stranded full cross. So they will have monthly ones. They just haven't announced them yet. That's good. I like how they change things up and they take into consideration people's favorites. For this project, I have floss drops on 2 different rings. One ring is all the floss, and I wrote down the number because because it's all kit floss for this one. I use stickers, but I have since found out that I can use like alcohol or something to wipe off like Sharpie if I did that. Anyway, so I put them on floss drops on the ring, but I have a second ring for any blended threads that I use. So if I have any leftovers, I put it on here and then I can use them later. So that's not very big by any means for this. Because it's a dimensions kit, so the way that they come on are on like those long, like you have to cut them off of that long thing that they come on. I don't have them anymore, so I can't show it to you, but it never works to keep them on there. And there is a gold metallic that is also on a floss drop, but it's in my bag. I don't pull it out because I haven't, like, I'm not ever gonna stitch with it in this part. It's it's one of the back stitches. Or couching. Couching, I get to use it for the couching. That's what I do. Yep, that's it. So I don't pull it out. I've missed working on her. I don't think I've worked with her, Woodland Enchantress, for over a week. She's the one I like to stitch on 30 minutes every day. But I don't know how many days we've gone through this year already, but I've only stitched on it like 140 something days. But I don't stress about it. It'll be nice to get it done. You got a delivery of Easy Guide needles today and you've already lost one. Oh, I can relate. And then you go, how? How did I just lose that needle? Oh gosh. My favorite needles so far are bowhens, and I like the peacemakers, but I don't notice like a huge difference over my bowhens. Why can't they make neon needles? Probably something to do with the coating, and you wouldn't want that coating rubbing off onto your fabric and threads. That's probably what it is. The way I start my threads on, because we were talking about this earlier, Suki. On this one, especially now, most of my threads are, it's two strands. The way that I thread my needle means I can't do a loop start, but because this is an Aida fabric, let me see if I can, so you know how like in Aida you've got your threads like this and you've got threads like this, I guess like this, right? um, and what I do is I run my needle underneath the top ones like this, and then up, and then down the middle, and it like anchors in the edges. So I just, when I run it through, I just make that the end of my threads like even and line up, so I don't have to snip anything off. I've never had one of those come out, and I I like doing that with this fabric. Go big or go home. I think I have nine and a half hours in. plus this half hour, so I have 10 hours into my not 24 hours. But I'm happy with the progress I am getting, so I suppose that's really what matters. It looks so good. Excuse me. 1, 5, 3, 7, 6. 2-strand full cross. Okay, once I finish this color, I will be filling in all of this with the same color. And when I get to that point, I want to break out one of these question books. So the question is, do we want would you rather questions or open-ended questions? Would you rather questions tend to have more of a debate around them because you have to determine your parameters before answering them. Whereas the open-ended questions are more like they're personal, right? They're about you. Which for some reason that makes me like uncomfortable sometimes. Not like in a bad way. I don't think it's bad anyway. Both sound good. You're stitching a lot. That's good. On your new start, are you still on that new start? I don't know what my eye is doing, but babe, what are you doing? Hi. I hope my thread will last. Just need... Oh, I was gonna say I need 2 more, but I think I need 3. It's not gonna last for 3 more stitches, so I'm just gonna start a new one. A new thread. Now I am yawning a lot. Hello, Verna in Texas. How are you today? There are 11 different oranges. Oh, Sierra. This was actually one reason why I started a Discord server, was so that there was a way in which we could share what we were working on, since YouTube does not allow that kind of a thing. Because I love seeing what other people... Man, I start yawning at this time all the time. Maybe I should have gotten a coffee on my break. Another one. Just for fun. It doesn't actually give me tons of energy, but that's fine. Thank you, Verna. This is Woodland Enchantress. It is a Dimensions kit from their gold collection. I want to do all 4 seasons that Ruth Sanderson has done, plus the Moon Fairy that is also quite lovely. How do I break up my chart so that I know where I'm at and where I'm going? Okay. That kind of depends on my project. This one's a paper pattern, but I have a lot of digital ones too. I like to kind of go with the feel of the piece. So like in this one, she's got a lot of folds in her dress, So I liked stitching down the fold. I am also marking off the pattern as I go. I just haven't done any of that right now. I should, but I don't need to, so right now. But highlighting what I've done is very helpful. So I made a working copy of my pattern so I could highlight what I have stitched. That allows me to go back to my original pattern in order to backstitch so that I have something fresh to work with. And my digital patterns, I use Pattern Keeper, and oh, what can I say about it? It's great. Okay. Need to get over this yawny thing. All right, time to fill in it. This is a navy blue, and it's just gonna come like all of this gets all the navy blue. Good night, Mirren. Have a good night. Thank you for joining. Kate, I might be a little more than biased, but Steven is incredible. I just find that marking my stitches, it really does just help because I can kind of match what my chart says with what I can see on my fabric a lot easier. Oh gosh, come on, stay. I like when, obviously, I am quite fond of Steven, but another thing I like about him is that he will, he likes to figure out how things work a lot. Um, our brains work very similarly, uh, but he likes to know how things work. and because he does that, he knows how to like fix things or repair things or replace things. And so in his house, he had to replace the furnace, and he changed it out to like a different kind of furnace. I'm a little sketchy on the details, but he made it happen. Um, and he would like to be able to do like much more in terms of like home renovation and home repair. He's been I guess like financially working his way from a not so good situation to a better situation. Um, his ex-wife did not. She was not very good with money. Um, anyway, so that's been challenging. Like he wants to be able to do more, but it is still recovering from that. Plus vet vet bills from his pup that passed away. But he has the skills. That's where I'm going with all of this. Is he has the skills and like the mentality and ability to do that, um, and that matches like my own desire um, to like be a little bit more self-sufficient in areas rather than like always paying somebody else to do all the things. His dream job is actually to own his own mechanic shop and to like renovate cars. Like, yeah, cool, cool cars, I guess. But not necessarily to keep, like, maybe keep like his absolute favorites, but he just likes that kind of a work, and so he can basically flip cars and sell them. That's what his like his dream job involves that. It's so nice just to do block stitching sometimes. I don't want to do it all the time, but I like doing it sometimes. Like, I don't have to think about it because I set myself up to just be able to put these in. Oh, we were going to do book questions. Okay. Let me get a blanket on my legs first. Blanket, water, Okay. We're going to do some would you rather questions. We've got 3,001 of them, so let's see how this goes. Number 1. Listen to one country song per day or nothing but hip hop for 3 weeks. I need a bookmark. Okay, I have my answer. It doesn't specify a time frame for country music. I'm also not a country music person. I like some, but not very much. So if it's saying one country song every day for like the rest of my life, no thank you. I will choose hip hop and only hip hop music for 3 weeks. However, it doesn't say that it's like I have to listen to the hip hop music every waking moment, just that I can't listen to another music style. Yep, please stop. So that's my answer there. Hi. Oh, hi. You're okay. See, Becca, this is why I like the Would You Rather, is because language matters. Do we have to listen to? I interpret it as I can't listen to any other music. Like if I'm listening to music, it would have to be hip hop. I think you get to choose the song, and that it doesn't even have to be the same song. It just doesn't have a time span. It's not like hip hop for 3 weeks or one country song for 3 years. Becca, you don't get to choose to listen to nothing. You get to choose one country song every day or hip hop for 3 weeks. I don't honestly know. I would think that you would get to choose which hip hop. I'm not even sure how we're defining hip hop music. Like what actually falls under hip hop? I would be likely to go on to like Spotify or Amazon Music or something and search for a hip hop genre and just let that play until I'm done with music and then turn it off. But like I said, I'm not a country music person. Either would expand your music library, Michelle. Yes. Kaylin made this playlist um, for going to the concert this week. Um, I think she called it like in hyphen concert prep. And so we listened to that driving up to New Jersey on Thursday. If I couldn't turn it off for 3 weeks, I'd choose one country song every day. That's only 3 minutes of my day. Yes, but at some point, those 3 minutes would have to keep going beyond what the 3 weeks would have equaled. Like, I don't want to commit to a country song for the rest of my life. But I would go, I don't know. It would be really hard to have music on all the time. I like how we have a mix. It's not. I like how these would you rather questions are not like false choices. It's not there's clearly a good one and an evil one. It's like either one. Either one is acceptable. Oh man. I need to stop yawning. Okay. Dress up like a giant mouse or a giant dog. This is seasonally appropriate. Also, probably a dog. Well, I don't know about that. I like the idea of a super long tail like a mouse. Also, it says giant. How are we defining giant in terms of a mouse or a dog? Hello! Okay, wait. Stitchy Dutchy. I will remember your name. Or not. But hi again from the Netherlands. Like, if you take a mouse and make it giant size, are we talking like human size giant size or like the Pillsbury Doughboy in Ghostbusters size? And how would one even dress up like them anyway? So that doesn't make any sense. But then is the dog proportionately? See, this is why my brain does detailed things. It comes up with just the most ridiculous things. Joyce! Joyce. See, we have another Joyce. And so, Joyce. Stitchy Dutchy, Joyce from the Netherlands. There's been a lot of new people for me to remember names. So, I will try to remember that. Joyce from the Netherlands as opposed to Joyce in the US. Monogamous Joyce. I want to dress up like a Newfoundland dog. Like one of the really big, fluffy, like, doesn't understand that they're not a lap dog kind of a dog. And then I could age them to be um, you know, like a 9-month-old puppy, because those ones, they're still huge, but they're not full grown, but they have like so much energy. They are adorable. I feel like you could get away with so much if you were that. Or mouse as in Minnie Mouse. Ooh. Hmm. Like Minnie Mouse or Mickey Mouse? Yeah. They don't have as long a tail as what I was envisioning. Because here I am I'm with a mouse tail and I'm like, I'm gonna hold it, I'm gonna pet it, and that would be really weird. A mouse wouldn't do that, I think, but maybe they do and I don't know. If I were picking between those two mice, I would pick Mickey Mouse though, because Minnie Mouse's voice um, is a bit irritating to my ears. You have a 6-month Basset Hound pup. She is a hurricane at times. Oh, that's because puppies are like the best. Oh. They're so nice when they grow up still though. Like they're adorable and so full of energy, but it is nice when they finally mellow out. My golden doodle, she's 5 years old now. Just barely within the last couple months mellowed down. Like I always heard that golden retrievers took a long time to kind of calm down. I just didn't realize it was that long. I thought it was like, oh, maybe like 3 years, like 2 or 3 years. No, no, she's 5. And she still has plenty of energy, but she's definitely more mellow. And it is definitely a nice change to have that. Pip, on the other hand, she's part border collie, part golden doodle, and she's not as mm, wired as Elisar. Like she has a more natural off switch. You have your daughter's Basset Hound. She's 3 and nutty as a fruitcake. Oh gosh. That's funny. We're training her to be a lazy dog, but she is not a very good student. I would think that 6 months um, would be hard for any dog to be a more lazy dog, even if they're one of the more sedentary breeds. They've still got so much growing to do and energy that needs to go somewhere. One of my dogs, Elisar, she's always been like mildly allergic to something. We're not really sure what. Um, Hello, Lana. Welcome. But her appointment this week was the first time that a vet told me that I can give her an over the counter medication and see if it works. I'm like, oh, I can? And so then I went to the store and got a like store brand version of Zyrtec. Those those pills are like 10 milligrams, and my dog needs to take 5 of them every day now. It's lovely, but she seems to be taking them. Um, she's accepting that she needs to take them. She doesn't fight it. Allergic to common sense. Oh, that's funny. The only way for me to know what she's allergic to is really to take her to a dermatologist and get like that a skin allergy test. Um, I would like to know if it's food. If it's a food allergy, then I can make that adjustment, and I would love to do that. Obviously, if it's environmental, can't do much about that, but it would be nice to know, but I can't do that right now. I have a cat that needs much more immediate um, attention. So I will just give her Zyrtec. Thank you, Lana. I feel like I haven't stitched on her in like a week and a half, so it's feeling nice to get back to it. And now I'm just filling in this spot with this color, and it's nice. Ollie is such a cute name for a dog. My Oh, this is so cute. Okay. Had like a thread text in a group chat going on. At Stitch West, Jody from Satsuma Street was um, there, and we got a kit. It's back there. I can't get to it, but um, it was a Christmas fawn, and one of my table mates is um, Jewish. So she was like, Christmas. But another table mate, she made her kit into a Hanukkah fawn and gave it like a Star of David necklace and yeah, um, like Hanukkah candles like on its back. It's really cute. Those are the kinds of things that I envision in like an in-person, close-knit like stitching village community is uh is like being able to share how people change up designs or something to so that others can build up their confidence in doing it themselves or something like that. Oh man. Okay, let me try this. Oh gosh, Joyce. Okay. Well, see, in English, I don't know if all of those sounds and vowels are the same in the Netherlands versus English. Probably not, but I mean, that looks like chufka. Yeah, that's. I will always attempt it, but I can promise that I'm more likely to butcher it than say it nicely. Ollie is definitely easier to say. On the way to the concert, Kaylin said, "You have to learn this fan chant. It's not hard. It's just all of their Korean names in order of age except the leader who goes first, plus some extra lines." I'm like, that doesn't even sound easy, let alone because there's 7 members in this group. Am I did learn it, um, but then she was like, "You want to know how fast it goes?" And it was like twice as fast as what I was saying, more than twice as fast actually. I'm like, yeah, that's not happening, but at least I'm familiar with it now. But she was displeased with my like vowel sounds. I'm like, I'm trying, but some of these are not. I don't know. It was hard. Close enough. She would listen to that. Oh, nice. It's not in English. We wouldn't make the like e and sound, but I feel like I've heard enough of like the Netherlands or the Dutch language every every once in a while in FlossTube videos, and it seems like that would be what one of the things. What is it? Sounds. One of the sounds. Can't even get my English out. It's kind of like um, block stitching. It's like that meditative Zen gardening for me right now. There's no counting involved, no color switching. And I just go back and forth and back and forth. Um, I am stitching this however the chart says to, so the background is mostly in a half cross and the dress is mostly in a full cross. And then there's even different strands among the half cross tent stitch sections, anywhere from 3 to, I don't think any of them are 6. I think it's 3 to 5 strands. Yeah, 3 to 5 strands. The full crosses are always 2 strands. So that makes it easier. This is awful. I've been yawning for almost an hour now, like 45 minutes. We're yawning at the same time and it just happened twice. Oh man. It's it happens a lot when I am like hanging out with Steven on like Discord or something because he very naturally relaxes me. It guys, I love this relationship I am in so much. Um so much. Anyway, he naturally relaxes me so much and I'm like I promise you, like, this is not, like, he knows that it's not because I think he's boring or anything, because I absolutely don't. He fully understands that I just feel so, like, safe and relaxed with him that I just start yawning all the time. But we're definitely hitting, like, a mm, tired slump. That's what's going on right now. You know, as pretty as this is, all of this blue actually has a bunch of back stitching on it. It could be couching, actually. Oh my gosh, it is. Are you for real? I didn't realize there was that much couching in this piece. Oh my gosh. I had no idea. So the stuff around her waist is cording, but all of this, like down her, all on the blue, um, all of this stuff, and here and up here, all of that is couching. Oh. Well, I may need to allow for a lot more time. There's a little on the side. Yeah, I noticed that, Becca. Because I'm looking at the colors. There's like 4 different uh, couching colors. Okay. I thought all of that was backstitch, but it's not. Okay. I don't know whether I should tell Alara this beforehand or not. She already ordered the piece anyway, so she'll just be like, "Great, you can do it for me when we get there." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Maybe this is how I can fund buying a ghost town, um, and revitalizing it. I can have like a backstitching business. Like, just send me your project and I'll backstitch it for you. Is that even like a legal thing that someone can do? It's not. It's selling a service still, not a product. And backstitching doesn't take nearly as much commitment as like a full-on commissioned piece. But then how would you decide to like how do you price something like that? Like, you couldn't go by like the stitch count of the full piece, because this piece has lots of back stitching and couching and French knots, but another piece with this same size might have a lot less. And you wouldn't charge those the same. And I would rather have like an upfront flat fee kind of a thing, rather than um, like by the hour. Hey Hannah, do you want to come live with me in a stitching village? We're gonna have our own coffee shop, LNS, and mechanic. We'll have lawn service and cleaning service, and like chef made dinners. Ooh, we could do potlucks too, guys. We could do like, I don't know, like Sunday afternoon potlucks. I love potlucks because you get to try like homemade foods from other people, and sometimes you can get like a lot of ethnicity and stuff. Oh, yeah, our stitching village, you'd have your own home, and like you'd have some autonomy there and stuff. So yeah, you know, significant others, kids, dogs, cats. I'm not like my stitching village would not be animal free. So, someone with allergies, I super apologize, but you will need to start your own stitching village. We'll have a like bed and breakfast kind of place for people who are traveling in for like retreats or something. We can host retreats. We'll have a communal like stitching room slash like gallery museum. And the stitching room would have excellent lighting, lots of electric outlets, like battery packs too that you can use, and like excellent seating. And then like our gallery museum would generate some income with people from the outside coming in. We could have like a monthly educational night where like a designer or fabric dyer or somebody comes in and we get a little like Q&A on, I don't know, however they want to present, like how they design or what their business model is um, like favorite color combinations. We could draw on the knowledge and resources of everybody, because some people are amazing at conversions, like color conversions, but also chart conversions. Um, we're going to have people who are very familiar with like working with a silk floss or with variegated threads. Um, it would be just fantastic. Oh, and finishing, people who are really good at finishing. So we could either have a division of the LNS or like a separate business completely for like those finishing supplies, or even to just be able to finish. See, we have a whole thing fleshed out. A fireplace or two. I agree, but it would probably not be able to be wood fireplace. Um, those are just a lot harder and um, more time consuming than having like a gas fireplace. That would be easy to like push the button and turn it on, you know? But absolutely, in our stitching room especially, we got a whole plan. And if we revitalize an area, then the conservationists like would be totally fine. We might even be able to get investors with a revitalization idea. We would have a bell to ring when we finish something. It'd be perfect. Yeah. I bet you eventually we could even have like um You know how there, like in fancy places, you've got like your coat closet. So we could have something like that, but it would have like, um, like the battery packs that would be like charged up and ready to go that you could get, um, like lamps that you could grab if you need like very specific lighting, magnifiers. That way you wouldn't necessarily have to bring it back and forth from your house to the communal stitching area. Um, we could also have like a variety of like stands there as well. Um, so it'd be kind of like a library, I guess, for stitching accessories like that. Like those things that are just too big to want to bring back and forth. And maybe we could find somebody who has like amazing artistic talent. Like, have you seen how Rental Studio does their framing? It's gorgeous, but they will hand paint the mats, and I love how they shape the mats too. Um, they're based in Utah, in the Salt Lake City area. Um, but each piece is very much a one of a kind, beautiful thing, and it'd be so lovely to have a framer finisher with that ability. We could have like a acre or two for a community park kind of a thing, um, with a playground and like, you know, go play ball together or whatever, so that kids had an outlet. We got a whole plan. Okay, Pip, I really need you to stop. Pip, Pip, stop. Hi. And stitching gazebos for the parents watching. Yes. I like that a lot. They are beautiful. Is there a person in this village who loves to frog? Are there any Stitchers who love to frog? I don't know. There might be some that don't mind to frog, but you know. How much are you willing to pay them? I'm sure that there are, um, like rental studios, their framing's not going to be the style that every piece needs, right? Oh, see, and I don't think, I mean, most of the ones that I see get done are ones like a Mirabilia. And the painted matting, I don't know, I feel like it goes so well most of the time anyway. There was um, there was a finish. It was a mermaid, and I don't remember which one, but it was a mermaid. And I don't think it was Rensselaer Studio who did it, but the way that the matting was cut had like bump outs on each side, and like really showcased the stitching, like the shape of the stitching. It was also like a beautiful purple color, and it felt fancy enough for the piece. Ideally, though, the framer would be able to meet a variety of different styles and um, be willing to develop additional styles and techniques. So, you don't want to frog your own stitching, but you would frog someone else's. So maybe you need like the frogging exchange board. Do you need something frogged? Because I do. It's probably easier to frog someone else's because you didn't do that stitching. Whereas when you frog your own, you have the memory of putting in all of those stitches. there's an element to the stitching village that would be quite feasible on a like if I adapted this idea just a little bit. Like there's a lot of aspects of like an entire village that is challenging. Um, but obviously there are like communes and like homesteading compounds and things like that 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 exist and that work, and so it is possible to do something. It does sound like a lot of work though. So a modified idea of this would be something mm, like a B&B, um, mm, like stitch like I guess like a sanctuary building, right? So you would have um, rooms that people could come and stay in, and then like your lower level would be like a, I guess I would probably make it 3 tiers. Like if I had 3 or more levels, um, and like the bottom level would be like your gallery museum. Um, and having that on the first level would just make it really easy for people who came in just to see it, um, to only have access to that part, and then people could come and uh, you could have some of your things displayed for like a certain amount of time before you decide to take it back or whatever. And then your second level would be like the stitchy room that's super nice. And then your third level and would be like the rooms for you to stay in. So then like you would live wherever you lived and then come to a place and have that space, and it wouldn't have to be a dedicated retreat time. Like maybe you just need a long weekend or a birthday vacation or I don't know, girls' night or something. That sounds like less work. Hello, Alara. How are you? Oh, Alara, you're the perfect person for me to ask this question to. How much would you pay me to like backstitch and couch for you? How does one determine the pricing of a business model of that? Yesterday you were just coughing, so why are you all congested today? is not an answer. I don't accept that. Try again. I know it does depend on the project, which is why I'm like, how does one determine, like, because I would prefer to have like an upfront, like, I look at the project and be able to quote you and say this is what it's going to be, rather than like afterwards I'm going to bill you an hourly rate. Like, I don't want to do something like that. Hi, Linny. How are you? And this is where I go. Where's my. Oh, it's down there. Manner and maker. I need to look them up. This honestly is like a variation on an idea I've had for about 3 or 4 years. So, manner and maker. Like, I've loved the idea of a gathering place to showcase, um, like all the different kind of creative areas in somebody's life. Like dance and music and composition and um, artwork and photography and needlework, all those things. It's um, kind of like fine arts evenings. Because you don't get that very often, and there's something about the exhibition that I think it's good for us to re-legitimize the amateur, right? Because amateurs are people who do something because they love it, not because they're getting paid for it. Um, like, you don't have to be a professional photographer in order to love photography. But I like the idea of kind of narrowing it down to something that can really serve a community. It just may be that that community also needs to live close. And so perhaps the village is a good idea? Also, like, I really enjoyed going to Stitch West, but it was a big retreat, and there are benefits to a big retreat. But my favorite is the smaller sizes. I love stitching in the springs for its smaller size, for the more, like, it's almost a more intentional community feel. I just want to have more control over something rather than, like, you know, these chairs are terrible, but I can't do anything about that. Cat can't do anything about that. Like, the hotel has to be the ones to replace it. And why would they? Because it's fine for, like, all the rest of the events that they do. But if you create a place that is specifically tailored to the stitcher's, um, not just needs, but like desires, that's what I would do. Oh, you know what else we could have? We could have a room, kind of like part of the, kind of like the stitching like library, accessory library, but probably more attached to the stitching room. But it would have um like a full set of DMC and like other floss, just in case, because sometimes you run out of floss when you're at a retreat, um and and you're bummed out. Like, you could move on, but like it's just kind of like, oh, that's a bummer, right? Or you want to make like some kind of a change, and so here would be like, go grab a strand of floss and it'd be fine. I can see a lot of benefits to that. Your enchantress went from Maryland to Michigan. Well, hopefully eventually it lands to you, Alara. I also legit just discovered how much couching is in this piece. It's a lot. Areas that I thought were backstitching, yeah, no. I shall be an expert coucher by the time I finish. I will learn on your sorceress and become an expert on Woodland Enchantress. Do you even want to ask? Okay, so look at this picture here. You see all those lines on like the blue here and down and even down here? Okay? That's all couching. I learned that today. They also have some up in her bodice and along the staff. I didn't even wait for you to ask. I just told you. So now I ask again, how much would you pay me to do that for you? I need to fund my stitching sanctuary somehow. Might as well do it by finishing people's like back stitching and stuff for them, right? It's priceless. You go have $1 on it. Yes. Okay. I have like a full on business model here now. I will backstitch my way to a precious retreat space. I mean, Steven sent me a listing for like 32 acres. So I feel like 32 acres is definitely big enough for um, like I can have a house and then I can also have um, like a retreat space. Perfect. A lot of places up in New Hampshire can be dual zoned for um, both commercial and residential. So you can have one property but with buildings for both on it. So all I need to do is buy this land and then get on it. Like summer 2024, here I come. I don't think that that place that he sent me had a house on it either. So I could put in like a little prefab house in there, save a whole lot of money doing it that way, and then start building what I want to build. Sounds like your property for hammocking only with stitching. Yes. Yeah. We've got a whole thing. You weren't here for it, Alara, but we have an entire plan for like, yeah, a thread table like the old ladies that owned an LNS in this town used to have. It's a large table with a huge pile of mixed threads on it. They sold those by thread quantity you needed. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I'm not sure that I would be able to do just a huge pile though. Like in my mind, I'm like, we can have a pegboard. And maybe it could be organized by number, But in my mind, I want that sucker rainbow ordered. I want it to be beautiful. And maybe have like, we could even, okay, here's some high tech thing. I can cross reference this pegboard with a digital display where if you knew a specific number you needed, like, oh, I need, I don't know, 973, I need a thread of it. You can go over there and type in where's 973 and it'll tell you which green it is. Like, you're already going to know that it's a green section, but now you can go and you can say, oh, it's in maybe like a bingo board, right? Where you have like it's in C4 and you go find it that way. That sounds insane when you're talking about like 400 colors, but you know, it really was leftover spaghetti salad. Oh, I love that. I suppose if you've got like leftover threads, having something like that would definitely make sense. Make the right peg glow. Kate. Oh. See? Yes. Yes. I like that. Totally will do that. Steven would absolutely love making that happen. I bet you it could eat. Oh, well, you know, I'm just now thinking of ways to make things fancy, but I would. There honestly is a lot of like seriousness about this inside of me right now. Like, I really want to make this happen. There's been one of the things that I have thought a lot about over the last couple years is so I've not had to work um, for the entire time my daughter's been alive. But the last couple years, I've started thinking about. Um, I've really appreciated that I have time in which to choose how to make money, um, and I've really wanted it to be something that, like, I don't just want a job, right? I want something I love to do. I want something that intersects with things that light me up. Um, and and so I've had a couple years to think about what might that look like? What could it look like? What's actually feasible? What might I have to, I don't know, maybe blaze new paths? I don't know. And I've thought about a lot of different ideas. That some of them are exciting, but not quite right. Um, it doesn't quite land on the heart of it for me. Um, I love providing a place where people can come together as a community. Um, it's not about me. Like, yeah, like even this right here, like, this isn't about me. This is um, about friendship. It's about, it's about love. It's, it's about, um, that, like, deep connection with being understood by people who are like me, right? Um, I am tearing up right now. Oh my gosh. Um, like, that's what this is to me. It's not about, like, me being seen or me showing off or anything like that. It's just like we need a place to have a community, and this fits, right? Um, and it allows people who just are here to listen to me, like, I don't know, natter on about whatever we're talking about. Um, like, you feel just as comfortable as the people who want to chat. And camaraderie, that is a perfect word, Kate. Um, that's perfect. Camaraderie, sharing, support, mutual love and affection, kindness, sharing of knowledge, giving, like, all very, like, deeply important things to me. And um, and I adore the stitching community to pieces. I have received so much from you all. The tears are definitely coming now. At least these are good tears, right? And I want to put more of that. I want to be able to provide a space that that can be experienced more by more people, um, because there's not enough of it in this world, and that is something that I can do. Um, is to provide an environment where those things can just, like, reign supreme. Um, yeah. So yes, there is definitely an element of of seriousness within me, that there's an entire part of my brain that is starting to think of what I need to do in order to make this happen. Um, because I think it's possible. Is 32 acres more than I was thinking? Yeah, sure, but there's purpose to those acres now that wasn't there before. And it fits my soul to do that, you know? So, yeah. I did not think I'd be crying today. Oh man. Thank you, Joyce. This is definitely touching deep in such a good way. Have a good sleep. Thanks for being here. So, yeah. I mean, this might be the first idea that has felt entirely comfortable to me. I've had others that I'm like, okay, but I don't like this aspect of it. Um, from a me doing it perspective, not that I have a problem with it, but this idea, I'm like from start to finish, yes, absolutely. Let me do this. Oh man. Guys, we just like shaped my entire life. Like, I love it. Like, it's a purpose that just fits me so well. So well, honestly. And you know what? Maybe we don't have a coffee shop like we would in a village, but we can have an area with nice coffees and like different like syrups. It can have a little mini fridge right there for um, like milk and cream and stuff like that. And we can have like non-coffee things. Like I have herbal coffees. It has no caffeine and stuff in it. Um, like we can have things like that. We can have like hot chocolate things for people who don't do coffee. That's totally fine. We can totally have that part. You know, snack area. Have you seen like the home edit at all where their pantries are like rainbow snacks? That's my aesthetic. I don't have a pantry like that. But we could totally have a space like that. Ooh, that would be fun. Like specialty teas and coffee from like your area? Absolutely. I wonder if introducing foods to a place, a commercially type place, I just realized like this could be problematic, maybe? I don't know. I don't really know what the laws are in doing something like that. have to learn how to run a business, guys. Like, I know some things about like small business management, but I've never actually done it. Massive learning curve, but when it's something that you really want, you're willing to do it, right? Yeah, and I feel like anything like any of the snacky things, the snacky coffees, teas, like I wouldn't charge extra for that. Like what you would be paying for is like your bed space basically. It's kind of like if you're here, you're paying for a room, and then everything else would be like free. That would be my idea anyway. And then if people were coming just to see the museum, I mean that could be like donation based maybe, like, or there could be a small entry fee. I don't know. I just think it'd be really cool to have a display place for um I don't like stitched work. Yep, yep, I like this idea so much. So much. Oops. I did not stitch that in the right spot. My brain's not going to stop on this topic. So we need a new topic. Because now it's going into the details. It's going into the, like, what are the action plans? It's the, what do I do now that prepares me for, like, this move that I'm going to do, and all the things. And, oh my gosh. Yep. It does mean all y'all have to visit me now. Okay? The details I should keep secret. There's a fair amount that, yes, well, I don't know about secret, but, like, I don't know. I'm sure there's a fair amount of things that I should keep private, but I've never been one to be good at that kind of thing. We talk about some very personal things, but but they're probably not, like, super interesting things that I'm thinking. You know, like earlier we were talking about decluttering a house, right? Um, and and so now it's like it kind of makes it even more intentional, that decluttering, because now it's like I really want to go live in a small home because that's going to help save me money, and I don't want to, like, have a storage unit that's going to cost me money, right? Like, it's things like that that are going through my brain. How many hours has everyone clocked so far today? Alara's at 30 minutes. Okay, but I saw you posting at like 1 in the morning, so were you not sleeping again? My first live was like 5 hours. Where's my list? Okay, so I was at 9.5 hours, 4 hours. Yeah, so 5.5 hours plus 2.5 hours today. 8 hours. I'm at 8 hours today. And yesterday I got 4 hours. So I'm at a total of 12 hours for the weekend. Out of whack again. At this point, Alara, I feel like this is normal for you, and when you're on a normal sleeping schedule, that's out of whack. 14 hours today. I don't know that I will be able to make it that long today. We shall see. It's 11 for you. Is it time to start thinking about sleep then? You managed to get your needed daily stitches for dragon down to 688. Nice! So you stuck with that 1,000 stitches for that long. Good. Giselle, you're at 10 minutes today. Well, you know, you had to work, so I'm considering this work. I don't monetize my live, so it's not like it actually is work, but I treat it like work. A few days of over 1,000. Good. Look, and you got through that third corner of all the black. You have it, Alara. You totally have this. 688 a day is great. Good night. Sleep well. Oh, popping everything. Oh, man. I'm getting close to the end of this blue. There we go. Alara, I have a floss tube idea that involves you, and Kaylin thinks it's a brilliant idea and that we should do it. Do you want to agree to it before I tell you what it is? That's not an agreement. All we do is I have my projects and I hand them to you, and you have your projects and you hand them to me, and we film for each other. I think it would be so fun to present somebody else's. You missed the question. I have a brilliant floss tube idea and it involves you. I think it would be so fun to have take somebody else's projects and like get to gush all about them to their viewers. And but I would just need somebody to, I mean, like, it's an exchange. It'd be like a fresh view on your projects because we're used to our own projects and we see them with the same eyes that have been stitching on them. And so to see someone else's projects and be like, I don't know all the details. I didn't um I didn't do any of this, but like, oh my gosh, look at this. Like, I think it would be so fun. See, I'm so glad you like the idea too. I would totally do this with other floss tubers too. Um, it's just that like I actually see you sometimes, so you know, and you haven't worked on anything else since your last update. Well, that's okay. So what we do is your video will be very short. It'll be fine. You can throw in like some surprise projects because it's not like I would be able to point out like, and this is what she stitched on since the last time you saw it. It would totally just be like, let me gush about all of these projects, whatever ones you handed me to show. Maybe in the spring if I can make it. I plan on coming. Because it'll be in March. Which is tricky because in March I'll come to Ohio, but then I'm traveling back to Ohio in April. Yeah. It'll be fine. I'll make it work. I do not wish to skip a stitching in the springs, like, ever. It's like a permanent retreat for me, I feel like. I suppose until I have my own building in which I'm gonna... Anyway. Starting January, you will have such a fun 2024 with your stitching plans. You will have lots of new things and lots of different things. I always have lots of ideas. I just kind of need time to carry them out sometimes. I'm very glad you like that idea. Alright, so what else can I talk about? Talk about how much money my cat's costing me right now. So I took both my cats to the vet on Tuesday, and then I took my dogs on Wednesday. I felt like I was hemorrhaging money, but I had money set aside, so it was okay. And also, the cool thing about doing it back to back is because like, they were aware of how much money they were asking me to spend. Anyway, thank you, Teresa. I love how it's coming out. I really do. My cats are 15 years old, and I do expect them to, I guess, develop health problems. But in general, they're very, very healthy. But one of my cats has two different masses, and they took like needle samples, and they're not like a fatty mass, which would be nice because those are fine. But they don't know what it is. They don't know if it's benign or cancerous. And so the recommendation is to get basically to remove them, a mass removal surgery or something like that. And it's better to do that sooner rather than later. But she's perfectly healthy otherwise. And so doing this would tell me, like, if it's benign, great. If it's cancerous, it gives us, like, kind of these are the things we're looking at in the future and stuff like that. But it could definitely extend her life instead of shortening it by doing it. So, and there's not other health concerns to keep in mind. So, the other cat was fine. She had an ingrown toe that they took out, but health-wise, there's nothing wrong with her. My dogs, they're much younger. One's 5, the other is almost 4. And there's nothing wrong with them except the 5-year-old having an allergy. But it was nice to get like a 10% discount on the dogs because it was like a multi-pet discount for having up-to-date vaccines on as many pets as I had. That was a nice surprise to get. Like, it's a good thing I saved up for this vet visit, because otherwise I was like, oh, like, just take more of my money, why don't you? Like, I could be buying more fabric, but no. Nope. You know what also needs to be part of the like floss pegboard? We need to have like the sparkly things. Probably petite treasure braid, because you don't need beeswax for that. But we could have like all the different colors there, and then if you just need a little bit of sparkle on a project, it's there. When I was at Stitch West, one of not my roommate, my table mates was like, oh, I really wish I had any Krynic with me because I want to put some sparkle. And I'm like, ooh, I've got some. Do you want to see if it'll work? And she was like, are you kidding me? And she used it, and it was lovely. It was totally fine to do something like that. Having a supply of beads, I feel like would be harder. But I love the idea of having like something sparkle like that. Perhaps not practical, but fun. Can you come open an LNS on my 32 acres? Yes, you can. I feel like I would be too busy with the like all the other stuff to also do an LNS type thing. It could be the gift shop. We could have a little gift shop, but it's like all LNS stuff. Party. Yes. Like a permanent vendor display that is like a starts with a C. I don't know. Um, I so Live and Die LA was one of the vendors in Stitch West, and I really liked her display. I really should have gotten a video of all the vendor displays, but I didn't. Oh, concession stand. Is that it? Did Teresa win? Um, Kristen has kiosk. When you sell others' wares on their behalf and make up a commission, but most of the sale goes to the original vendor. You're making the commission, but like the vendor display is called something bigger. So one of the things that Live and Die LA had were her fabrics, but they were like all in bins, and so they were like these bins that could be like her fabrics were upright like this, and separated out by like this is 32 count linen and this is like 28 count Lugana. So it was very easy to find, um, and but like organized. It wasn't like up this piled mess or anything like that. Ooh, consignment. Is that it, Alara? She also had like yeah, Teresa, you figured it out. Consignment. Um, that would be interesting because when you go into like consignment stores, they all have like different areas, but then the one checkout area, and so you're not dealing with multiple vendors and whatever. Um, that would be interesting to kind of look into, and seeing how that's different from like how an L&S is run. I wonder if that would be something that is appealing to um, like the small businesses and stuff. Oh, look, there you go. Something that supports small businesses without them having to present, but that's still like having a vendor table. Yes, I like that a lot. Being able to see, especially like fabrics in person, makes a huge difference in like your confidence in what it is that you're buying. Floss, floss is also true, but it feels less risky with floss than it does with fabrics for some reason. And there can be teeny tiny scissors, because those are like my most favorite scissors now, mostly because of their size. And things like orc catchers and um, use, yes, less out of pocket. Yeah, floss is definitely, you're like, it's okay if I buy three different flosses to try to figure out which one fits best. Whereas your fabric, it's like, three fabrics is like $150. I suppose that depends on what size you're getting, but yeah. Yes, I could probably do like a trade-in kind of a thing. Like I have this unused piece of fabric that I'm never going to get around to using. Can I get it for a trade-in value? So I can get a kind of fabric I want. Hey Steve, how are you? Trade-in might be harder to do though because you'd want to make sure that it was in really good condition and things like that in order to like be able to resell it. But I like that idea because um, sometimes you do end up with fabric that like, oh, you know you're never going to want to use, but you might want to look at fabric that you will use. And I like the idea of um, not just in requiring like cash, you know? Kind of like a barter system, but like not actual bartering. A rough week up until yesterday. Well, I'm glad things are better. I'm glad to hear that, Steve. I'm glad, not that things were rough. I'm sorry that things were rough. I'm glad that it's getting better. I kind of like the idea of like a um, the floss pile idea is what gives me this idea, um, but like almost like a free little library where um, you go to retreats and there's like a freebie table. Um, I like the idea of like leave one take one kind of a thing. Um, you know, pass it on, but sometimes you don't want to be the one who deals with passing it on. Um, I don't know. Lots of ideas, but I have the basics of like what would need to be there. I know what the basics are at least. Hi Shauna. Are you done with work now? The chancy things with something like a free little library is that yes, someone could come and bring like a free pattern and leave it in there and then take like a nicer non-free one and then decide to turn around and sell it. Um, I there could be situations like that, but there's a part of me that says like, well, that's kind of their own guilt. Like, is would that be my problem so much as that's on them. Like that reflects their bad behavior. blue is like never ending, but it's also almost ending. It's hard to believe, like, it's been 3 hours. Like, I know I was crying and gushing earlier, and so I wasn't stitching, but you know, there's a significant amount of stitches in this. I know what it is. It's like an Airbnb for stitching, but like not through Airbnb because they have like dumb fees. It really is kind of like a bed and breakfast. I wonder if breakfast would be like feasible, or if it's, again, that gets into providing food on premises and what kind of certification is needed for things like that. You need ice cream. I like it. You need blood, Shauna. Ice cream sounds amazing. Now everybody wants ice cream. Ice cream does sound good, but I'd have to go to the store if I did that. It's crazy different, Kristen. Um, I also discovered that all the stuff on the blue, that's not actually backstitching, it's couching. But yeah, it does. It's gonna look so different. Pumpkin ice cream sounds incredible. I do love pumpkin flavored things. Pumpkin, the the pumpkin roll, cake roll, cake rolls. That sounds real good right now. I'd eat the entire thing though, and that probably is not a smart choice. I'm not sure that I care if it's not. Couching with a metallic thread. Yes. There's actually four different four different color of couching, two of which are blends. And three of them use the gold metallic and one of them does not. Doesn't that sound like fun? I didn't realize there was that much couching in it until today and yeah. But the picture looks amazing, so I'm gonna do it. I will do exactly what it tells me to do. But that definitely furthers my decision or solidifies my decision to definitely not touch any of the backstitching and couching until and French knots until I finish all the rest of the stitching. I don't want to do it as I go. Fun, yes. If I can come up with a pricing model for doing the backstitching and couching for other people, then I really would put that out there. I just don't know how to go about doing that yet. I am not going to be helpful, Alara, because I think I'm going to have a bagel with cream cheese and peanut butter. My hands are doing just fine. I'm good. I'm not so sure that like my lower half of me is very happy. My lower half is usually the part that is like you've been sitting for hours and hours during 24-hour cross stitch weekend. But my hands are fine, my wrists are fine. I'm not holding anything besides a needle, so we're good. Oh, my lines are starting to get smaller here. That's exciting. Leftover pizza you can pick the kid, but off deciding for yourself. I have pizza from lunch. I assume my brother has eaten some of it, but I don't really want that for dinner also. I will probably leave it for tomorrow otherwise. I have mini carrots too. They're like regular carrots but smaller. Not the same thing as baby carrots. So I have that in hummus, so I will probably get some like nice healthy foods in my body. Ooh, hummus toast with veggies. Yeah. Hummus toast with like bean sprouts or alfalfa sprouts on top. That sounds delicious. I don't have the sprouts though. I got a feeling tonight's gonna be a good night. Tonight's gonna be a good, good night. I bet you all my pets are hungry again. But I will finish this blue first. And then I will probably sign off for the day. I mean, I'm worth a free concert, Anisha. I'll grant myself that. Especially because I don't know lyrics very well. That's where I fail. My puppy's now looking at me like, is it time for food yet? It's not. It will be when I finish this. far from the shallows now. The shallows. We're far from the shallows now. May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be ever at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face now. May the rain feel soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, and until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hands. May God hold you in the palm of his hand. I can't even respond to that. I can't even respond. We could go for a totally different style. But now I have to think of it. What's a very different style that I actually know lyrics to? Do you know Rent? Every single day I walk down the street, I hear people say, baby, so sweet. Ever since puberty, everybody stares at me, boys, girls, I can't help it, baby. There's another style for you. So be kind and don't lose your mind. Just remember that I'm your baby. Take me for what I am, who I was meant to be. And if you give a damn, take me, baby, or leave me. Take me, baby, or leave me. Oh, I don't know very much country at all. A tiger in a cage can never run. This demon needs her stage, baby. Let's have fun. You are the one I choose. Folks would kill to fill your shoes. Yep. Oh. Is that the time of my life? I've had the time of my life. I never felt this way before. Yes, I swear it's the truth. And I owe it all to you. Is that the one? That's about all I know lyrically. Hi, Pip. I'm not done yet. Yes, I swear. Yep. That's like the part that that's the part that I know. I can do some Disney. Those are generally reliable lyrically. And I can do bits of other things. I just I don't know what it is. I just don't remember lyrics very. I think I second guess myself a whole lot and very easily confuse myself on what it's supposed to be. I feel like we should have a token like uh what's the song that the kids nowadays call it Rick Rollin'. Um ooh, I can do a whole new world, but it's hard because there's two parts in it. Um but I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. That was terrible right now, there, because it changes keys. Anyway, a whole new world. A dazzling place I never knew. But when we're way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you. Unbelievable sights, indescribable feeling, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling, through an endless diamond sky, a whole new world, 100,000 things to see. I'm like a shooting star, I've come so far, I can't go back to where I used to be. Every turn a surprise, every moment red letter, I'll chase them anywhere. It's time to spare. Let me share this whole new world with you. We gotta let Disney know. Well, I might just have triggered the algorithm to, like, say, maybe you should monetize this video. I've gotten that before. I think that was Little Mermaid who triggered it last time. Alrighty. I have finished the overskirt in Woodland Enchantress. Ta-da! It looks good! I am very pleased with this. Yes, I am. The next thing I will work out on this is her underskirt. I need to take my pictures now before I forget. Oh, it looks good. So good. Yes, I am quite pleased with that. So, okay. Thank you. I'm quite pleased with this. I think that there's not a ton of different colors happening in this dress part, and a lot of them are like these downward angles, so it should be fairly easy to work down them there because there's no more of these like red flowers and stuff to deal with. So yes, I'm excited. Okay, so I'm gonna log off for today. I will probably still stitch some later on, but I won't go live again until tomorrow. I don't know what time it will be tomorrow, but sometime tomorrow. It won't, not likely a morning. I'm Eastern time, probably afternoon. I don't know. But thank you all for being here and for talking with me, for hearing like my crazy big ideas and all the things. I love you all.